All right. Hi, Nikita.
Hi, Fatima.
And hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the second episode of Acid Sisters.
Welcome, welcome.
Yeah, I think we should start doing this
Absolutely.
But I am so excited for us to be here. We recorded our first episode.
So good.
So good. We recorded our first episode in March, April, and we're here doing the second one. And as just a quick recap for everyone and our new listeners, who will be a few, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Is that Acid Sisters is a heartfelt project by Fatima and myself to create a community of and a sisterhood of women who are turning their passion into power. So we want to obviously highlight the amazing women that we know in our circle and meet a lot more women who are doing crazy things, amazing things, breaking the boundaries, changing the rules, and we want to bring your story forward.
Absolutely, and use this as a platform just to kind of get to know you also a little bit more. You know, I feel like we know such incredible women chasing their dreams, and every time I sit down and talk to them, there is a new insight as to their story comes out of it. And both Nikita and I would love to share their journeys with the rest of the world as well. And in the process, get to know more women who are killing it.
Killing it. Absolutely crushing
women
it.
Women are killing it, guys, by
Absolutely.
the way.
I genuinely feel, and this is the reason why we started this also, is that we as a generation in India are the first generation of women who have the kind of power, freedom, education, audacity.
Absolutely.
Okay, to do what we're doing and how we're doing it, and these stories have to be told, and that is what Acid Sisters stands for. But what do you think about this new setup, Fatima? Same couch, different setup. What do you
Amazing light. I love it. We've only taken 5 hours to set this up, guys. We started with 2 iPad stands, and 2 mics without a cushion, fluffy
average mics, and all of our friends were like, good job, but you really need to change the mic.
I still have messages from our friends that great podcast, fucking bad mics.
So we have upgraded on how we have a much different, better setup.
Absolutely.
And the reason why we're sharing this with you is that we honestly, when we started this off, we started off because we just wanted to kickstart this whole thing. We wanted to go live. We did not wait for it to be perfect. We didn't care for it to be perfect.
That's the motto, guys. Nothing will be perfect. Just go with it. Just do the work.
Just get started, and we just wanted to go live, and we did it with 2 iPads, iPad Air. Like, we had 2 iPads, we had 2 average mics. It was Blinkit mics. Yeah, and we just recorded one afternoon, and we started posting about it, because honestly, when your agenda and your motive is clear, it doesn't matter how polished it is. You obviously can learn on the go.
Absolutely.
But what you're standing for really matters.
Yeah, I feel like just getting started also really matters.
Oh, that matters so much.
Because you don't know what you will learn along the way. You don't know what your weakness is. Only doing is doing.
Yeah.
Nothing else is doing.
That's what they say. When you start, half of the battle is won.
Absolutely.
That's where. So here we are. We have a different setup. We have. I hope that you enjoy this better, and we're just gonna keep getting better. And this is us telling you that just kickstart, doesn't matter with what, and you are just gonna keep upgrading on that.
Absolutely.
But talking about upgrading, we also did a quick upgrade. Not a quick one, but a nice upgrade.
It was a process. Ask Dora.
Nice upgrade of our branding. So Fatima, why don't you tell us what we did?
Absolutely. So Acid Sisters with the new setup also has a new fresh look. I think it was earlier we were just like muted colors, serif fonts, everything that Canva gave us to just get started, which is amazing. But I think when we were reaching out to sisters, we wanted them to feel as excited as we were about the brand, and it had to come through these beautiful colors of the blue, the neon pink, which is also so Nikita, you and me.
Yeah, it's electrifying. It makes you feel something.
Absolutely.
Like,
and
it stands for, Fatima loves telling the story. So Acid Sisters was born in a
music festival.
There you go. So if you're in a music festival, you are surrounded by the most vivid colors. You are surrounded by the most vivid experiences. And that's where
this idea actually came into be. Nikita and I are center stage, next to speakers, raging really hard. But at some point, we looked at each other and we are like, bro, we know so many good women around us. Let's bring their stories to the forefront. Let's just talk. Like, we both can really talk. Like, even when we were doing the setup, we came up with at least 5 episode ideas because both of us could really talk. And so the new branding has elements from everything about in and around that music festival. Nikita, do you want to show your beautiful skills? You have to see Nikita on the dance floor with this. Oh my God.
Oh my God, this is a very integral part of our branding, which Fatima very beautifully integrated into the assets.
Sacred. Very
Assets.
sacred.
All our branding is around this. We own this moment. We own the energy that us and our sisters have on the dance
Yes.
floor, and that is something that we want to bring into the community and sisterhood
And you
as
can
well.
tell when I reach out to sisters, now we've started posting about sharing people's stories. So before, till we get people on the podcast and talk to them, I think we've already again kickstarted without waiting and sharing their stories on our Instagram. So please do go check that out. And the moment I reach out to them with the new branding, there is this excitement that they have, you know, that, okay, yes, the branding is amazing. There's so much energy in it. So I think that was very important for us as well to have that energy into it and the fresh start. So
It got me super excited.
Yeah.
I loved the branding. But talking about the branding, why don't you tell us about, some principles that you definitely, if you are doing a branding project as a designer, what is important to keep in mind as a designer when working on the branding for any brand?
I feel the most important thing to keep in mind is to create like a world versus just picking up elements. A lot of time people think that like branding is about your color palette, typography, and your graphic elements and your logo, but it goes way beyond that. For Acid Sisters as well, it was way beyond that. Like what color would bring in that energy? What is the world that we are creating?
And you added that really beautiful pink because
Absolutely.
we're sisters. We love pink.
I love
It's this
pink.
electrifying
I
pink
love
with this
pink.
electrifying blue. So it just makes
Yeah.
you feel so empowered but yet so feminine.
Absolutely. And that whole idea of like, it's your backstage pass, which is why I asked you to add that to our Instagram bio as well, because we wanted that feeling to kind of come in that, it's kind of like your backstage pass, like very limited edition to all these stories that we have access to.
Raw and unfiltered.
Raw and unfiltered. Yes. So, I think the most important thing someone can keep in mind while doing a design or a brand project is to not just stick to the elements of the brand book in the traditional way, but to create like a brand world. So you know what kind of collabs you can do, what kind of merch you can do, what kind of storytelling in your PR packaging can
So I think a lot of people where they fall, victim to the mindset when it comes to design is the fact that they think design is just a logo and just the colors,
Absolutely,
right?
yeah.
But it's a lot more, right? So can you just give us like a little insight on what do you mean by the brand world that you're building and how that manifests into the touch points?
Yeah. So for example, I feel like let me just take some examples of how some brands are doing this really well. I think Gully Labs is doing this really
very
well,
nice.
right? I feel like they are creating this very gully underground culture. So the way they are branding is, you can tell the kind of naming their products will have. You can tell the kind of collaborations that they will have. You can tell the kind of PR boxes that they'll be able to send. Another brand that I can take an example of is Vacation Inc., which is a US-based sunscreen. Started off as a sunscreen, but as a beauty brand. They have this whole idea of a leisure in a resort. So they have these beautiful that you're a lifeguard kind of cards. Like you can add them to your LinkedIn. The way they do their product naming also kind of comes from there. Like even their collaborations, they can go to a resort tomorrow and be like, we want to do like a sunscreen collab
And it'll be
party.
seamless.
Absolutely. Like Gully Labs can be, because they're indie and subculture, they can do like a collab with an indie artist. It'll be
Or
so
Budweiser,
or
or-
Budweiser. They'll be so on brand with them, right?
So
I feel
basically,
like-
you design brand worlds in a way that resonate with people, obviously, but also at the same time help you collaborate with other brands who share that kind of brand world with you, or a similar audience that
Absolutely.
enjoys that brand world.
Absolutely. So a lot of times, I think in branding, people forget that they only think of the visual system, but what they need to think about is how will marketing be able to use this, right? Like, so that emotion, those stories also need to be seeped into that, and I think that's when a brand is well
That
done.
is so interesting that you said how marketing will think about it, because it's, a lot of people don't realize that these are not silos. Design is not a silo
Absolutely.
and marketing is not a silo. Ultimately, the brand world that you mentioned is a very big concept in marketing as well. And it
Yes.
just ties perfectly because it's working hand in hand with design. So what you're building from a design perspective, at the same time you're communicating that from the marketing perspective as the story, and all of that ties together to build the brand
like
world. Yeah.
If you have a great packaging, your marketing will be able to use that as a moat to market. if your marketing team has a great insight,
Yeah.
you can use that into design and product development.
Very
you know,
nice.
and then like kind of connect. So I feel like a lot of times people think that these two work in silo and come one after the other, but I think there are, when all these work together, that's when the
you nail
real
it.
magic happens, right?
Yeah.
Like, tell me what insight you have. Okay, you have an insight as to like Red is blowing up, or maybe you have an insight into Coachella and music festivals are blowing up. Then maybe let's design
can we
like
integrate
a
that into design?
bag charm that someone can carry at a music festival to carry their perfumes and hand sanitizers.
But at the same time, that bag charm, while it's a marketing idea, carries the aesthetic of the brand, the colors, the everything together.
Absolutely.
And ties to your product so that
it's functional, making sure that it functions really well and stuff like that. So that's when design and product comes in, right?
Yeah,
so,
and is also elevated. So if your brand is like a premium luxury brand,
Yes.
you make sure that that aesthetic is transformed into all these marketing assets that you're also creating.
Absolutely, right?
Understood. But what are the mistakes that you think a lot of designers do when doing branding exercises or in general working with brands?
I feel like one of the biggest mistakes, I think this is the mistake that people make, that they think is design is limited to just like logo and visuals. I think I learned very early on that design is not just how things look, but also kind of how things work. I think one of the biggest mistakes I think people also make is think that an external agency will kind of help them do their entire brand and figure it out for them. But that is the biggest mistake. I feel like get someone external as a consultant, that's okay, but get your team, use your team, or get that consultant to work with your team to execute on it.
So you're saying in-house, it's your team who knows the brand best.
Your team, I think your team either knows the brand best, or your team needs to be trained on how to execute on the brand, because an agency can give you as amazing of a brand in a deck, but the gap lies in executing
implementation.
Absolutely. I have seen companies that I have worked at spend thousands and thousands of dollars, right, into, like, I was telling Nikita, north of a crore is how much people have spent, and those designs are still sitting on a deck. It has been impossible to implement those because you don't know the day-to-day.
Do you think this is like a product and to design gap? Like, where is the gap coming? Like, where is the gap sitting between the actual execution? Is it because it's not ultimately making sense when it comes to like the product, while the design looks beautiful on a deck, but when it comes to actual implementation and the users, it's not making sense?
Yeah, there are multiple reasons at play. Like, for an existing brand, their inventory might be sitting, and the new rebrand will be very expensive to actually make it, or the talent that the agency had to make those illustrations, you just don't have that talent, right? So like, you will not so I think sometimes you have to also see inward,
see what your brand is capable of.
See what I feel like some of the best branding has also come out, like, see what your team is, lean into their strengths, and build on top of that, which is, I think, a mistake that people make is just this: get another person to help your team, guide them in a way, get a creative person to work with them, or get them to hire a team for you, right? But to do it in-house is the way to go, no matter who you are as a brand. I think the concept of agencies, I'm sure a lot of people will be really mad when I say this.
Controversial statement.
Very hot take, guys. It's a very hot take that I have on branding, that no external person will understand your
brand.
And I feel like when you're in the initial stages, the brand evolves.
I'm sure.
Evolves and grows. And it's like, we evolved and we grew, right? Like, you don't know from day one that this is what we stand for, especially for a new brand, right? So like, be open to also evolving and changing along the way.
Got it. Any hacks, tips that you would like to share with fellow designers and brand directors and creative directors that will make their life easier? Because I know one thing about Fatima, she is a very process, system-oriented person, and I love that. I take inspiration from that, and it just makes life easier. So, are there any hacks, any tips that you could give to fellow designers, brand directors, creative directors?
Oh, it's a very broad
genre.
So
you can shorten it and you can direct your tips.
I feel like start with soul, but scale with systems. But since, Nikita, we were talking about like how design connects brand and marketing, you have spent enough time in marketing already, and you're building brands for companies, you're also building your own personal brand. I would love to know, how are you firstly kind of managing?
I have no idea. Honestly, I'm not doing such a great job. But we all know in today's day and age, your personal brand is a big deal, especially
Yeah.
if you are, and if you want to be anybody in
Yeah.
the brand marketing, in general, anywhere now. It's not even just marketing. In general, if you want to be a thought leader, if you want to be a key opinion leader, KOL is what we call, you need to have a solid personal brand.
There is an abbreviation for
Yes,
it?
it's called key opinion leader. Oh my god. And now we have a new term called KOC, key opinion consumer. So your consumers are becoming
This is new
advocates.
to me.
This is insane. I recently learned about it. Key opinion consumers are basically your consumers who are your thought advocates, and once you get them on board as a brand, you honestly have the best advocacy ever, right? Because they're spreading the best word of mouth, and word of mouth traditionally and forever has been one of the best ways of marketing. But talking about myself, I feel as a marketing girly, personal brand had to eventually happen. And in today's day and age, it just, with the kind of options and availability on Instagram and the kind of platforms that you have, creators are just pushing the boundaries, like pushing the boundaries in every single way. And I'm not talking about influencers specifically. So there's a difference. If you notice, there is a term called creators and there's
Yes.
a term called influencers.
Yes.
While both terms are still there and none of them has really lost their weight, but they both have kind of branched out into two different directions. Influencers are considered like a group who like to advocate brands and influence the general public. Creators do that as well, but creators are also thought leaders. So they are kind of pushing the boundaries to create content that adds value. So these are the folks who are sharing value, who are sharing tips with you, who are also evolving in that journey, becoming leaders, so key opinion leaders, but at the same time sharing their journey so transparently in a form of a learning to all the other people who want to follow. This was not the case back in the day. So 5 years back, look at
You were
pre-pandemic.
enamored by people. And
Yeah,
they were
you had influencers.
Yeah.
Influencers had their life. Influencers were selling products. We were like, wow, very pretty. Oh my God, nice.
Yeah.
But now with the democratization of content and creator content, creator is the next big word. If you notice, a lot of people don't use influencers
It's already
anymore. It is. It's
the
called
word.
the creator economy.
Yes.
It's all about how do you share value. It's all about how do you grow and how do you help people grow. You know, because everybody is so democratized. Everybody wants to grow. Everybody wants to be in this. But so I obviously realized this in my journey as a marketing person. I realized that I don't want to be an influencer. I want to be a creator. While yes, working with brands that I resonate with is great, and it obviously is a great means of income, but that cannot be my sole purpose of being on Instagram. I cannot be on Instagram just to sell products to my audience, because after a point your audience will also have a fatigue, because how many brands are you going to sell every day, and how are you adding to their life in any way, you know?
Yeah.
Some of the most successful creators on Instagram or YouTube are the ones who share value, or in a way entertain their audience. So which is again value. You're adding some value to their life. You're not just pushing a product into their face, and those are called creators. And I realized that I wanted to be a creator. I wanted to, obviously, when I started taking my content creation seriously, which was like a year back, I already had a set platform of I had like a set audience, which treated me like an influencer. But this year specifically, and for the next few years, I'm going to focus on becoming a creator who has a distinct voice, who is trying to share value and create a community.
So how do you find this voice, right? Like,
yeah. So you need to, again, like you said, look inward. Okay, it applies everywhere. You need to see what you are passionate about. It can be anything. Okay, but your voice has to be very authentic to you. I cannot preach about music. I know nothing about music. I cannot sit and preach about cooking. I don't know nothing about cooking. But I can preach about, you know, hustling as like a city girl who's managing her job, who's managing her fitness. How am I managing all my different hobbies? And the best part is,
how are you managing all these things? How are you managing your
babe, I have no idea. I'm genuinely, the other day I asked on Instagram that how do I task master better? And some of them really came back to me saying, why are you asking this? We want to know from you. And I'm just
I want to know. So I have seen you put up gym stories. She's going to the gym. She travels for an hour to go to work. Wow. Like, I mean, that's a lot.
That's when I listen to a lot of podcasts. So
and
that kind of helps me podcasts.
And then you post so regularly.
Then I get into fashion, I do travel.
Then you script and then you
So one very interesting concept on social media right now, guys, is to be multidisciplinary. Okay, or for the longest time we were told to niche down. For the longest time we were told to pick a niche, pick a topic that we're passionate about.
That's my hot take too.
Yeah, you
need to
don't
be
need to niche down.
No.
My favorite
No.
quote is that jack of all trades and a master of none is still better than being a master of one.
Absolutely.
And I absolutely love that, because I rather know how to do a bunch of things, because that helps me become a better anything, like just a better person, than just niche down. And the same thing applies to your content. The same thing applies to your social media.
Yeah,
you
and I feel like life has too many things.
It has too many
I wanna experience everything.
Everything, and you should be able to communicate about
Yeah.
it. I understand creators do this to get brand deals. So a beauty creator will stick to a beauty niche to get more brand deals of beauty brands, and fair enough if that's your focus. But somewhere you also need to think long term as a creator. You need to realize that 10 years down the line, are you still wanting to do this? Will you still want to sell fast fashion 10 years down the line? Would you still want to make these spoof videos? You need to think long term. So a lot of creators, what they do is they in the moment try to hop onto trends, which is fun, interesting, funny, jokes, fun skits, but they don't realize as a long-term creator, 10 years down the line, when you're in your 30s or your 40s, would you still continue that as a personality? No, you will grow. You'll be a different person. So somewhere content creation now is a long-term game where you have to think, what is the brand that you want to build? What is the community you want to build? Because at the end of the day, influencers have followers, but creators have community.
Yeah.
So it's the community that's going to stick with you.
So you think it makes sense for someone? So you said that look inward, what you're passionate about, but give me tactical advice, okay? In terms of, let's say I'm starting I want to be a creator.
Yeah.
Right? Should I be thinking about what is the community, who are the people that are going to be following me? Of course I need to look inward, like that goes without saying, but like,
good question. When you're starting off as a creator, the biggest point that you have to keep in mind is whether or not are you going to be able to generate constant content out of anything that you're doing. So your biggest priority is that you have to think of a topic or a content bucket that you can every day churn out.
Which is your life basically.
Anything.
So, because people can be called out for inauthenticity.
No,
I feel like
that's the thing. See, again, it's not just life, because people can get into what they're passionate about. So there are a lot of creators who talk about facts in the world, because they are the kind of people who read
research
up every day. This is what they love. So the biggest
So that's what I'm saying.
hack.
What biggest hack being is like what you anyway do in your day to day.
Every day. So your biggest hack has to be that you need to be able to generate content day in, day out. And if it's not something that you're passionate about, you will not be able to do it. You will not be able to continue that for a year. You will not be able to continue that for more than 2 months. How much are you going to fake it?
Yeah, so basically the biggest hack is find something that you're doing every day.
Every day. Whether it be working out, whether it be doing cooking. People cook every day. They then start making cooking videos, because this is something that they do anyway.
They do anyway.
If I started doing cooking videos today because I think it's cool, nice, if I try to be a Nara, but I don't cook in general, I will not be able to sustain myself, because you're trying to create a community that you yourself don't belong to.
That is true.
It's that simple. So when I say look inwards, it's about what you can do on a repetitive basis as a human being. I know for a fact that I'm a corporate girl, but at the same time I'm passionate about working out. At the same time I'm passionate about managing multiple disciplines in my life.
Yeah.
So I can build a narrative around how a girl can do it all, with her career, with her health, with her fitness, and her personal ambition. Because that's my everyday. So then I know that this can become a repetitive content.
And how do you design like your system? Like I know you started scripting and started recording a lot of it. So like walk me through your week. Like have you dedicated days? Have you figured out that system yet?
So the most ideal way is to have dedicated days, where you have dedicated days for scripting, dedicated days for recording.
Like, do you do?
So at this point, what I do is I do dedicated days for recording, but at the same time, what I also try to do is I try to optimize my time. So I know that I go to work every day, and it takes me 1.5 hours one way. So I spend 3 hours on the road just going, coming back. So I know that these are my hours where I can script and I can edit. So, okay, great. So that's the time I take in the morning to write down my script. And while coming back from work, that's when I'm editing. Now, when am I shooting? I'm shooting at work during lunch break. My office compound is gorgeous. Okay, I like that space. Light is great. I get that time out from work for a bit. I walk down, get my mic, I shoot a video. And I know on my way back, I'm going to edit that video.
No, that's great because I'm rereading Atomic Habits again. And one of the things I write in the book is to be able to do something as a habit consistently, dedicate the task and the place at when you will do the task, like the place, like the time and the place of when you will do the task. So this is great.
It's like a system.
It's like a system, so which is great. So every time when you're going to work, you are not thinking that what am I doing now today. You know that you are scripting, you know this is the podcast you are listening to, and then on your way back, you know that you're going to be editing the same video that you shot
during the day.
That's amazing.
So that is a great system.
So you're doing this every day. You're shooting this every day.
I'm trying to do it every day.
Okay.
I've not, it's hard. Fatima, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you guys. It's not easy to do it every day because you also have to put some thought into what you're going to talk about. You know, at the end of the day, you cannot, at least me as a person.
Why do people need to do this? Like, I really
it depends, completely depends on what you're doing. Now, coming to the fact that, okay, what are you doing? So what I'm trying to do is talking to the camera videos.
Yeah.
Why? Because talking to the camera videos are the best way to engage with your audience. Okay, that's where they feel very connected to you because you're actually directly talking to them. But does that mean you need to be the smartest person? No, you don't. You don't need to have like a very fancy script. You don't need to be dropping the biggest fact and truth bombs. No.
What are you using for your scripts? GPT?
I am literally talking about things. It's so funny. I'm glad that you asked this. Everything that I'm trying to talk about in my talking videos is stuff that I wish someone told me earlier. Okay, as like an early content creator. So I'm trying to talk about how to not cringe on yourself. I'm trying to talk about.
That video was made for me, by the way.
Yeah, that video was made for her.
Yeah, because I mean, every time I record something, I'm like, ew. And
I don't know why she cringes on herself.
She goes to the camera and she was like, stop cringing on yourself. I'm like, Nikita.
So I'll tell you what Fatima did, okay? Fatima posted a beautiful carousel on Acid Sisters about how design and life principles just go hand in hand. Stunning, okay? She's discussed some beautiful concepts. She's made a gorgeous carousel post and she's posted it. But it's just, I don't blame her. Women in general people, but I'll just talk about women in my context and just even brown women, so hardwired to constantly second guess and constantly judge ourselves and constantly be like, what am I doing? That her first comment after going live on the Acid Sisters page was, oh my God, this is so cringe. I'm cringing so hard.
Yeah, that was my message to her on WhatsApp.
Yeah, and at that moment, I knew where she was coming from, but I was also infuriated because Fatima, apart from obviously the amazing designer that she is, she's also a founder. Okay, she is a Sephora-backed founder who is second guessing the content she's putting on a podcast that she has started. So I'm just like, girl, who are you even worrying about?
Her message to me was in capital. Do not delete that post.
Yeah, and I'll talk to you later. Like
I will talk to you later about it.
And then the next day I went and made a video about how women need to stop cringing on themselves. That's like our biggest barrier to success.
And that post did so well, guys. And even if it didn't, it's fine.
My message, and you know what I was trying to do was, I was trying to tell myself this, you know, with each and every. Honestly, I'm not blaming you because I was just like that. I cringed on myself for the longest time. I was so shy to start talking to the camera despite of being on the gram for so long and having following. Having a curated Instagram feed is very easy, okay? You can put very nice pictures. It's very easy to be behind that wall of curation. But when you have to get real, that's when shit goes down. When you have to actually talk, when you have to actually be unscripted.
Nikita, you don't mind the real, but the problem is, like, I don't know if it's the algorithm or what it is. I feel like it demands you to be clickbaity.
Of course.
Stopping. And like that's what is very. I feel like is it short-lived? I don't know. Like, you know.
No, honestly, I don't see that going away anytime soon.
Yeah.
You know, Instagram wants you to be on the app for the longest time, and content is designed in a way. Again, I don't also just blame Instagram. Human attention spans are very low, and that's one of the reasons
psychology.
why.
Yeah, absolutely.
We were getting exhausted out of scrolling, doom scrolling, and that's where short format content isn't. You know, eventually people are gonna get sick of it, like just 3-second videos, like, and that's why long format content is going to pick pick up. Like,
Yeah, absolutely. I have recently, like, I have been spending a lot of time on Substack. Like, I've been consuming content on Substack. And one thing I keep constantly seeing that people talk about on Substack is that how they love long form. So I do think there is going to be an exhaustion.
talking about content, because everything is
Yeah.
content these days, I honestly feel, hot take, bring the old Instagram back. We need
I know.
quality stuff. We need less clickbaity stuff.
Absolutely. I feel like, but there are two things to this, Nikita. I feel like when I look at content international, the production quality is just insane. People are making entire episodes on Instagram now. So the production quality is insane.
You're talking about creators or brands?
Like that.
Brands.
Yes, brands.
So that's brands. But even content creators have been pushed to such, being a content creator myself,
Yeah.
we are being pushed to such an extent that you have to constantly keep coming up with hooky, catchy stuff.
I agree.
And that's what leads to a burnout. It's
Not sustainable. And it feels empty.
It doesn't feel authentic.
It doesn't.
Because after a point, you're just gonna keep, if you're gonna only think about the algorithm, when are you gonna do stuff that you like? When are you gonna post stuff that you even, why did we join Instagram in the first place? To post the stuff that we were passionate about. But now this an algorithm, everybody just talks about what's gonna trend, what's gonna make more views. So
what's gonna make your scroll stop?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I mean, even as a founder, when I'm supposed to make content, I just feel I am putting in so much heart and love in building the product, building the brand, doing the design, but then I have to sit and script and record
in a clickbaity way.
in a clickbaity way. That
Yeah.
just feels so empty, and which is where I ask myself if there is going to be a shift, or do we
Yeah.
foresee a shift, which
Yeah.
I kind of see already coming in, right? Like, I think slowly people will be fatigued with short form content, and I feel like I have been spending a lot of time personally on Substack in the last
sure.
1 year, reading and consuming content just in the old school blogging way, and I feel like I love it. Like, people have just taken one topic and spoken on that. It's a
full circle moment. We're going back to things that mattered before,
Absolutely.
long format content, well written articles. And what's your Substack called? We should ask everybody to check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. It's called Layer by Layer.
That's a cute
that is so cute. That's a very cute name.
And that actually kind of makes sense to you also.
As
You
a
actually
designer.
like to go layer by layer.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. In Figma and in Illustrator, there are these different
Layers, yeah.
layers. So
Yeah.
it's like inspired from that. A friend, Neja, again another girl who we should get on the podcast, helped me come up with the name.
Shout out to
And
Neja.
Shout out to Neja. Helped me come up with the name, and I feel like when I write on Substack or for Substack,
You feel so passionately about it.
I feel like I'm being a lot more authentic, and I
Yeah.
feel like writing is such a thing, Nikita,
Yeah.
that can help you understand that topic even
Yeah,
better.
I'm sure.
Right? I think your thoughts get clearer when you
Yeah,
write, and I am so glad that Substack is making,
Picking
or a
up.
long form content is making a comeback again.
Yeah.
Even for videos.
YouTube,
Yes,
exactly. YouTube is
exactly.
also, YouTube in general as a platform, while they have
Or podcasts.
introduced shorts,
Yeah.
it's still somewhere for creators, it's still such an untapped platform because people just don't have the patience or the time to make long format content, put that thought into it, put that research into it, just in general put that time into it, because everything is so short and quick that YouTube, if you are a new content creator, you want to build a niche and you want to monetize, because most people obviously are doing this to
Yeah.
make money out of it. YouTube is your best bet. Get into YouTube. Instagram is saturated. Yes, do Instagram. It's easier. YouTube is tougher. But YouTube is where you will actually create a community who is taking... So one of the biggest hacks that I've heard online in my research is become a part of your viewer, your follower, your consumer's habit. Okay. So basically, YouTube is a habitual... Like Instagram is also a habit. You're scrolling every single day. Every time you're in the bathroom, you're scrolling. But YouTube as a long format content is when people are having lunch, they're going through YouTube. They're watching a
Yes.
video. People
Yes.
are, okay, not while driving, but on their way back in an auto, or so wherever they have some time, it becomes a part of their day. It becomes a habitual exercise.
Yeah.
And when you get integrated into that, you become a little more irreplaceable.
Which is why Tanma is doing like such a fab job.
All your YouTube
all your
bloggers,
YouTubers
yeah.
are doing
Yeah.
such a fab job, and which is when I feel like, as much as, so for everyone out there who feels like anxious and overwhelmed about doing clickbaity content, as much as that is having a rise and
Yeah.
having a moment, I feel like long form content,
Well
both in
thought.
videos and writing, is absolutely making a comeback. So
Yeah.
if that's your form of expression,
Expression.
and art, that's also another way of building your personal brand. Yes, it's going to be very important in this world to build a personal brand.
But you
Es-
will find your community
Yeah,
there.
especially if you're a founder or a freelancer. I think that is going to be more and more important for you to do that. Actually, even someone at the job, like to be
Yeah.
very honest, thanks to my early days of X,
Yeah.
I feel like being active on X has helped me land every job without an interview.
X.
Twitter.
Wow.
I used to.
That
Yeah,
is so
oh my god, I used to be
interesting.
so active on it. I used to be
Nice.
so
And that's
active.
a very interesting platform because I recently was watching this creator, and he's a creator, not an influencer, and he was talking about how Instagram is the last piece where on information falls. Like X and link, is the top of the
Absolutely.
pyramid where conversations are happening, and then the tinkle down effect or whatever they call it, it comes down to Instagram at the end. So if you want to be in the forefront of any conversation, you need to be on X.
Absolutely. And I used to love it and I still love it. Like I still once a week post on X and like just keep it. But back in the day, like I used to be at it because it used to be so fun. It's opinion, it's written content. And I am not someone who's like very comfortable with camera, but I feel like I'm very comfortable with my opinions, which
Yeah.
was just very easy
Just
for me
worded
to write.
nicely, yeah.
Yes, just
Yeah.
easy for me to write. And so I do think Substack is making a comeback. In fact, a lot of brands are getting on Substack as well. Rare Beauty has built their Substack.
They're building communities.
Their communities
yeah.
on Substack, absolutely, because I feel like you can share a lot more, you can get a lot more personal with it as well. And I think it's just the old form, like.
And I think it's also the intent with which the audience consumes the content on that platform. So on
Yeah.
Instagram, everybody is actually consuming with the mindset of 3 second and move. Okay, that's why they say the first 3 seconds is very important to retain your audience, because genuinely you're not going to spend more than 3 seconds on a reel before you decide if you want to be on that reel or not. But when someone is actually entering YouTube or Substack, they are entering with the mindset to spend that kind of time in engaging and consuming that content.
Absolutely.
So you know for a fact that all that heart and soul you're putting into that content will be given that shot, because
Absolutely.
your consumer is coming in with the intent to
with
consume.
the intent to consume,
Yeah.
because your consumer knows you've put in the work. And even on Substack, people who use GPT to write are going to get like just
Wiped out.
wiped out
Yeah.
very easily. You
So
can
there are people
tell.
who are using GPT to write.
Because smart people know that
Yeah.
Substack is the next big thing. So they're like,
Nice.
okay, I'm going to give tips.
How do we
I'm going to do
optimize
this.
this?
How
Yeah.
do we optimize this? But that's going to get called out, which is why even when brands are getting on Substack, I feel like the more authentic you will be, the better it is. I think, like I said, like Rare Beauty is doing a fabulous job of it.
What
Say
about
is doing...
Say is
Say is
beauty
another
brand.
beauty brand that's doing a very good job.
So which beauty brand is on your radar right now?
I feel like the one brand, and I feel like the reason I want to bring up this brand is because I want to talk about what India can do in general. I feel the brand on my radar is Kulfi Beauty.
I love the name.
I love it. I'm wearing the Chamak Challo eyeshadow.
See, this is a brand world, okay?
Yes.
Kulfi, Chamak Chalo. Can you give us a few more names of their products? That there's a kajal also, some nazar na lage kajal.
Yeah, they had an entire campaign says Nazar No More. So their whole idea is like, they're not like that kitsch Indian. They are like, we are a fun beauty brand, but we are also Indian
and we own it.
And we own it, right? Like their name is like Brocade Sari. Like that's the name of their product. Like one concealer that I use is called Glossy Guava. So like these are the kind of names that they come up with. So the entire naming category is also like very like proudly Desi and Indian.
But at the same time, so much fun. It's
So
not
much
like
fun, like,
stereotypical also.
Not stereotypical.
Yeah.
At the same time, very inviting.
Yeah.
It's a beauty brand in the US. They are right now in all of US and Canada. Sephora. It's the only Indian beauty makeup brand.
South
at
Asian
Sephora.
apparently.
South
yeah.
Asian, yeah.
South Asian beauty
yeah.
brand, yeah.
Like again, a female founder, Priyanka Ganju. You've done a fabulous job with the brand. Like taking inspiration from the Devanagari script to the name and the logo. I feel like she's made India fun. She's having fun with that brand, and like also she's like, even in her campaigns, she doesn't use models. She's like, I'm gonna lean into my community, and she gets people on board and casts them in her campaigns. Absolutely, she finds these beautiful, like Nazar No More is a campaign where she talks about evil eye, like how we used to use kajal. Kajal for like evil eye, and that's her campaign.
That's such a deep-rooted insight.
Absolutely.
That she picked out from the culture and
Absolutely.
made it like a whole cult movement. Yeah.
Cult movement and made it global.
Yeah.
She's inviting not just the South Asians in the US, but like all of the other people into the
Educating
culture
them,
as
yeah.
well.
Inducting them into the culture.
Absolutely, and making it like again like very cheeky, fun. Like that's very important, right? Like there are many different ways a brand can take. But I love what she's done with Kulfi, made it nostalgic, but at the same time, made it very inviting, open. So even with the illustrations, or even like the kind of people, even the kind of art direction that she does, right? Like there is a certain kind of elevation to the brand. So she shows how you can be like, make it a kind of beauty playground.
Fair enough.
But at the same time, like be very editorial.
That's what I'm loving about brands these days, that, and especially the fact that founders are experimenting and they're not sticking to a playbook. Like a brand that came onto my radar that I really like and I think it's so much fun is it's called Hot Girl Pickles.
Oh my god, I love them. They've done such a fab job.
Exactly, and they're like two college best friends, and they have Turkish, Persian, descendants. So they picked up a category as boring as pickles, and they made it fun, and they made it yum, and they made it more cool and relevant to the Gen Z audience. They tapped into the whole hot girl energy, hot girl aura, the whole mindset of being a hot girl, and made it into a hot girl pickle brand. Their parent company,
their Instagram is so fun.
It's so much fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Their parent company is called Good Girl Snacks.
Yes.
And they just do pickles in different flavors. And the whole idea is to do snacking and make it sound cool. They tapped into Gen Z lingo. The illustration, color palette, everything is young, fun, quirky colors. And it's purely a digital first brand. So now they've slowly...
Their content is so good. It's a case study.
Yeah.
It's a content case study
of how a young brand can grow.
How a young brand can just use social media platforms
and create a community.
Yes, and create a community. Exactly what I feel like
so much
did really well as well.
Exactly.
Like, just tapping into these nano creators. So many times the brands want to go to like creators with big following. I think just like
you have to look into your community.
You have to look into your community.
Your consumers are your like coming back to the point, key opinion consumers. You just need to get your consumers on board. So much so that these guys collaborated with Coachella last year to do like a cross collaboration, which is huge for a young brand.
Absolutely.
And like coming to your point that you do not need to spend your marketing budgets on a big bold brand and like spend or big brand collaborations or big consumers or big influencers. You just create people who enjoy your product, get them on board, give them that visibility. As a consumer, I would love to feature in your campaign. Why the fuck not?
Absolutely.
And you get them on board and you create a whole campaign around it. They will be loyal to you. You will get word of mouth. At the same time, you are saving on marketing costs. Yeah. And that's exactly what I think Kulfi also did.
Yeah, Kulfi is also like not sending their PR packages to just the big
creators,
names. They are thoughtfully doing like a tiny fan with something and like
innovation.
Like PR packages are fun, giving it to nano and smaller creators. And I feel like any Gen Z with a creative mindset, everyone is so good with designing content and making content that if somebody also just uses your product and your PR package to make some good content, you have the liberty as a brand to exactly.
I think that's what Gen Z has done as a generation. They've made conversations so transparent and inclusive that before this, our millennials and before that, brand would be a separate entity and the consumer would be a separate entity, and that gap has been closed with this new generation where they're like, why not, dude? Like, let's just do it together. Let's get them on board. And that is what even millennials are now learning from Gen Zs and trying to adapt and integrate into their brands. They're like, let's be like them. Let's be inclusive. Let's be fun. Wow, there is no wall between the brand and the consumer anymore.
Absolutely. Which is what I like about both of these brands, like Hot Girl Pickle and Kulfi, that they are fun. And for all, like, I want to especially call this out because I feel like India has so much potential to go international, and it doesn't have to be in a serious Ayurvedic yoga way.
Agreed.
I feel like we can be fun, we can be cheeky about it.
We can be aesthetic.
We can be aesthetic, we can be elevated.
And our aesthetic doesn't have to be kish. It doesn't have to
be... Absolutely. That's not what I'm doing with Ruvada. Ruvada is a very elevated editorial brand, right? So And like for example, Indivile is very again teenage fun. What she's doing with her latest campaign with
But
the
you
Mirchi lip
also,
balm.
you should see how she has evolved as a brand, because when she started off as a pure Ayurveda brand. Okay?
That's right.
She was like,
Hair
I'm bringing
oil, yes.
Ayurveda into everyday living in Champi. They patented the word Champi. Brilliant move, by the way. How has nobody ever done that? And and she started off with all her content was around her mom's hair, her hair, and all of that.
Yeah.
And then she realized that, oh my God, how do I integrate the younger audience into
Yes.
it? And obviously they rode that whole movement of the lip balm, because Rode was already riding that
Yes.
wave, and they now getting into fun flavors is basically trying to make it young. But if you see, they've done a major shift from what they started
I
off.
agree.
Champi is no more their focus.
No, absolutely. The DLT lip balm is their focus.
Their lip balms, their eye serum, they're expanding into more younger categories. They're expanding into categories they can
And they're not taking India very seriously. She's like, okay, I'm going to take Mirchi, but I'm going to make it international.
Global. I'm going to make it accessible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we don't need to be like so nuanced and serious about things from India. So all the young brands out there, like just take a small thing, or actually maybe take something that is working in the West, see how I can Indianize this in some way.
How can you add your own twist to it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Add your own little Indian twist to it. Don't only look for, but which is why I think like apart from that, even introducing new product categories is important. Like, and it's fun. Like what Kulfi did, right? Like with the kajal.
Yeah.
Nobody was looking at liner as an under eye liner, but that's what.
That's where the cultural nuance came in, right?
Yes,
Because
that's
we
where the
apply
cultural nuance
kajal
came in.
underneath.
So there are both ways to go about it. Like
Yeah.
you take something a little bit and you apply to a
That's what
westernized
Indivile
concept.
did, you know.
Yes.
So they're taking international, they're taking global phenomena and trends and adding the Indian twist to it. So
Yes.
Indivile added ghee in their lip balm.
Yes.
Ghee.
Yes.
Nobody knows what ghee is. It's Indian butter. It's yum. Like especially the Western audience doesn't know it, but it's our form of butter. It's very precious to us. Adding that to a lip balm makes you authentic, at the same time different, but at the same time also Indian, you know.
Exactly.
So that's where I think brands, truly Indian global brands, I think
has to have a mix of both. Yes,
are bringing together global and Indian, but they're not making either of them overpower. They're like finding ways to make it relevant, because these, and at the same time global and accessible.
Not just in their product, but also like not just in their branding, but also in their product
innovation.
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
But I think this has been a great discussion. And
amazing.
I enjoyed talking about our favorite brands. I think we will always discuss our top brands on our radar.
I think that's a good one.
It's a good one.
Both of us are constantly researching and learning about new brands.
And the fun part is that both the brands we talked about, Kulfi and Hot Girl Pickles, are like sister-run brands, women-led brands, and it makes me so excited to be like.
Bro, but every time I look at a brand, I'm like, okay, that brand is doing really well, and 80% of the time I was like, women-run brands. I am so freaking proud of all of us right now.
And I'm so excited to get these women onto the podcast soon. So I'm really excited for you guys to hear the kind of guests we have lined up, and there's some very interesting, incredible people.
Now we have a new setup, guys.
New better setup. So we're ready to roll. Which brings me to the next segment. Are you ready for the acid test?
Oh my god, I'm not. I'm not.
Acid test.
This time Nikita has put down all the questions, so I have like zero clue.
It's cute. So our acid test is basically a segment where we ask each other rapid fire questions. Fun, cute, quirky, and on the spot. And do you want me to go first?
Please.
Okay,
yes,
perfect.
But
so let it be a surprise. Because this is how the best answers are going to come
Please
out.
start with an easy one.
So okay, Fatima. One thing that instantly makes you feel like that girl.
What's that girl?
That girl is.
What is that girl, guys?
That girl!
Gen
oh my
Z,
god! That girl is just like, you are the moment. You are the main character. You are in your goddess energy. Like, what is anything that you do, or any ritual or anything that you do that makes you feel like
that girl? I think lifting.
Oh, you're saying in the gym?
In the gym.
Yeah.
I feel like that makes me really feel like that girl. Yeah, I'm gonna go do that squat.
Yes,
yeah,
I love that.
That's
a good
Especially when I do workouts, which are like free weight workouts, like bench presses and things like that. I love it.
That's hard.
It's my favorite freaking workout, Nikita.
So hard.
Bench press is my favorite.
But now I know
workout.
why it makes you feel that way.
Yeah.
That is quite empowering actually.
Yeah.
Just in general to be able to push your body to a limit
Yeah.
and like to be able to like.
When I do
go
like
there.
personal records, especially then, I'm like, oh, I beat myself.
Nice.
I
Cute.
love it. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Your turn.
Absolutely. All right.
Pick anything.
Crush of the week, lady.
My
She
boyfriend.
has a new boyfriend.
He's not quite new. I mentioned him in the first episode, guys. But that time we were just seeing each other, and today he has spent 5 hours in setting up this entire setup.
That's right. It's all him.
So
It's
shout
all
out
him.
to
For, like,
Michele.
whoever follows Nikita already knows that she
Yes.
has a boyfriend.
Yes.
We've all been seeing it on Instagram.
That's true.
Every day.
I love my boyfriend. He's so cute and he's so patient with us, and he set up this
He
entire
is
setting.
a sweetheart.
So he's my forever
Yeah,
crush.
he deserves a special shout out for the way the light falls on us and
The mic,
the way
the
we
camera.
sound.
We wouldn't have pulled this off by ourselves, guys. Our last episode, we didn't even know we had to put this fluffy thing onto the mic, and we recorded the entire episode without this thing, and our voices sounded like, oh my god, it hurt my editor. My best friend edited the episode, and he's like, my ears are bleeding. Like, you guys.
Thank you, Sahil, for doing that.
Shout
You
out to
deserve
you.
a really
Yes, you will be
special shout
proud
out.
with this now.
Yes.
But okay, my turn.
All right.
Okay. So, what is your secret weapon at work?
My secret
As an
weapon,
entrepreneur, as a founder.
an organized calendar.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is such an underrated, like,
Oh my
secret,
God.
secret weapon.
Absolutely.
And she keeps mentioning this, and I've now decided to really take it seriously. But, like, just give us a little elaboration on why.
There is this concept called the triple S. I think I learned that from Ishita, another girlfriend that we both have. I am forgetting all the S's, but it was like, okay, double S, like schedule and single task, right? Also, my friend Ragini taught me this, like everything, so all of us have to-dos, right? Like I have to-dos in 3 different forms. At one point, I realized that my to-dos are increasing, but I really don't know how to go through them. And the reason I was able to start going through all the to-dos is I moved the to-dos onto my calendars. So Google has this amazing feature called tasks on calendars, right? Like you schedule your meetings.
Is that a separate app you use, or you use the Google Calendar?
Google Calendar.
Okay.
So when
you just add a task.
So when you click on it, it says meeting. Turn the meeting tab into tasks.
Oh, I've not been doing.
Nobody else can see it. Nobody else can see it. Only you can see it.
But
So
does that
all
block your calendar then?
Yes.
Okay.
So every night, like for example, there's a task. Have lemon water and put out a yoga mat.
Nice.
In the morning, there is a task. Have lemon water, stretch for 10 minutes. Right? So like all these tasks, just putting them in my calendar.
You're making time out for it. You're like scheduling it in your schedule. Yeah.
Absolutely. Otherwise, I had 4 hours blocks to go through my to-do, but then sometimes it's really hard.
Overwhelming,
It's
yeah.
overwhelming. Also adding focus hours.
I'm
Where
sure.
it's like,
Deep
okay,
work.
deep
Yeah.
work. This
Yeah.
is the time I'm doing deep work. No calls at all. So I think just adding that on the calendar, I feel like even as a creative person, it allows me to know that, okay, these 3-4 hours is when my creative work happens, because otherwise you're constantly battling, okay, what is my next task? What am I supposed to do? So I have come very underappreciated, which I think a lot of founders already appreciate, which is like an organized calendar.
Nice.
I think that's my weapon at work.
Nice.
It's a very long answer.
Very
Sorry,
nice.
we'll edit this.
No, but you're passionate about it.
Yeah.
I appreciate
I don't
that.
think I'm doing it very well though, but I feel like that is...
That's how you learn.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it well at all,
Yeah.
but now I know this task thing, which I'm
Yes,
definitely going to do.
yes.
I use reminders on my phone for different tasks because I'm officially in that adulting phase of my life where I get a dopamine hit from checking off a task.
Yeah, you have to check this off.
Yeah, and
This
that
also.
tiny dopamine hit
Yeah,
just makes
yeah.
me feel so good that I'm
Yeah.
like, checked.
Yeah,
So I make like these
absolutely,
checklists and I just keep
absolutely.
checking the tasks. But now if I put it on a time slot, that's going to make it even more efficient. So that's a great tip.
Same thing that
actually.
we spoke about, what you do, right?
Yeah.
You script while going to work,
Yeah.
and then you edit while coming back.
Yeah,
So
little systems that you put in
yeah,
place.
the task and the place and the time you will do it at.
Nice.
That's very
That's a
important.
secret sauce, girls.
That's a secret sauce.
That's a secret sauce.
Okay, Nikita, I will go next. All right. I actually love your confidence, Nikita, so I'm going to ask you this. Red flag that you secretly find attractive.
When
I want to know, yes.
When
I
I
want to know.
scripted this acid test today, this question I read and I was like, should I remove it? But then I kept it to keep it spicy, and look how it's come back
Yeah,
to me.
thanks. I want to ask you this question so that you don't ask me this question.
Oh, red flag that I secretly admire. Admire, right? That's what it is.
Yeah.
I think a lot of ambition like in general the person being.
Why is that a red flag?
Because if somewhere from a point of view of a partnership, for your personal level, ambition is great, okay? But a lot of ambition in that sense kind of can jeopardize your partnership because they can choose that over you in a lot of circumstances, which I feel, okay? It is possible. And I don't see it like as an absolute red flag. Ambition is great, okay? But at the end of the day, when you also have a partner and you have a partnership, you have to work with them as well. So you will have to make time out for them. You know, you will have to make sure that your dates are in place. You have to make sure that you guys get that one-on-one time, okay? Because you have to balance it, babe. It has to be a balance of everything. I love ambition because that shows me how driven and passionate you are about what you're doing. I love the fact that you're doing this. But at the same time, if it's just that, you will somewhere, you will forget.
But then you
all the other
admire
things.
this.
I admire it because it shows me how passionate you are about something. It shows a side of you.
I think so too.
It shows me a side of you
Yeah.
that, but it is a red flag to me because at the end of the day, I know that somewhere I will get sidelined, you know, and it's on the person of how they balance it. But extreme ambition, I feel, my personal take, hot take, can cause a little bit of trouble when it comes to
Please flip
relationships.
the question, but okay.
A little bit of trouble, a little bit. Fatima looked like she had an opposing view to it, but you can tell me what you think about this.
No, I completely agree.
Yeah.
I feel like I have been giving that feedback to myself because I'm very ambitious as a person.
I love that. And as women,
Yes.
we are, but you need to realize women also in general are wired
Yeah.
to take everything together and run with it. Like, we are multitaskers of the best kind. Since childhood, we balance family, friends, everything.
Yeah.
So while we're ambitious, I know for a fact, guaranteed, that we are capable of handling this, handling that, handling a baby, handling family, handling everything.
Yeah.
And so I don't see that as a problem at all. We're trained. as
I
multitaskers.
agree.
Yeah.
I think I agree with you, and I think as I'm growing up, this is changing for me as well. Like in my 20s, I used to definitely be like, oh, so hot, he's ambitious, oh, banker, oh, this, that. And then my husband was like, no, I want someone who could just like be at home with me.
Who can give me that time?
Who can
Yeah.
give me the time.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like he's not always constantly busy. So
Yeah.
that is very, very important. So I completely agree with you. Although, Nikita, I would say my question was, red flags you secretly find attractive.
This is ambition is a red flag, which I find attractive.
Oh, I mean,
Like
okay.
that.
Oh, like that. So
I can give you a spicy answer also.
Yeah.
Dominating behavior is a red flag.
That's what I was looking for, Nikita. Come on.
Like, she gave me so much gyan, yeah.
Yeah, like ambition, but doesn't spend time with family and
Dominance, yes, quite hot, red
Yeah.
flag, but hot.
yeah, I think
Hot.
so. I think so. I would like someone to take control.
Yeah, take charge.
Absolutely.
Good question. Okay. This I want to definitely ask.
my God, I'm
One
scared.
thing you would never admit on LinkedIn. Because girl was just telling me how she has to be active on LinkedIn, which she does. One thing that you won't admit, it can be anything. You don't have to, just anything.
That I always try and ask for more than I think I should ask in terms of the money for a project. No, I don't want to answer this answer.
You want to ask?
No.
But that's a good thing. That's a good thing. That you don't ask for enough, you're saying. Or you ask for more.
I try and ask for more.
Which is good.
I think
Why
so.
shouldn't you?
I think so.
Men.
Because firstly, I think the level of enough
Yeah.
already we feel
It's
that
basic.
It's basic.
Yeah.
It's basic.
Babe,
So,
what you're doing is what most women
I-
struggle doing.
I know.
And you should not feel
I
ashamed about
know.
it. Women,
I
there are
know.
statistics that men succeed by overestimating themselves and women fail by underestimating themselves. It's a legit.
And because of that very statistic, I feel that we are anyway underestimating
We're anyways
ourselves.
behind.
We are anyways behind.
So there's nothing wrong.
So when I try and ask for more than I feel in general, which I think a guy would be anyway asking for 2x of that anyway. So I can at least get to like 1.5.
But you do realize that our conditioning, whatever it is so
Yeah.
strong that when you said this, you felt the need to retract
Oh
that statement.
my god, that's so true.
And
Oh my God,
it's the
that's
fact that you felt like, shit, I shouldn't have said this. Why? A man would confidently be like,
I'll tell you why I said that I should have said this, because I don't think I'm still asking for enough anyway compared to men.
Exactly.
I know how much men
They are asking for
designers
it
get paid.
and they're getting it.
Yes.
Dude, I was recently, I'll give you a fact, and this is like a lesser known fact. I was recently negotiating, for a hike. and I asked for 100%. And they looked at me like, wow, you're asking for so much. And I was like, yes, because if a man asked for it, you would give it. Because when men
should absolutely ask for it.
men ask with confidence. They ask with like, yeah, this is my way or highway. But women get so intimidated.
Yeah.
Women feel grateful for whatever they're given. Women feel like, oh, you've given me this much. This is great. And that is why we're so behind. Why do you think men are paid statistically lower than men? It's not just because the employees are paying that much. It's because women are not asking for enough. They're not fighting for
Yeah.
their fair share.
Yeah.
Women accept what's offered. It's always a two-way street.
It is a two-way street. I
while
think so.
we blame employers that you're not paying us enough as men do. Men are being
Just
paid.
ask for it.
We're not
Take
fighting.
up one for the community. I am trying. She's trying. Please, everyone.
We can do this. Do not back down. Have that confidence. They know that women are emotional. They play on that.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I agree.
so don't. That was a good point. I'm glad you brought this up. Your turn.
Okay, then. My iPad is locked. Wait. How many more to go? 1 second. Shit, sorry. Okay, I want to know this, Nikita. If we swapped
Oh my
lives
God,
for a
I
day,
knew it.
I really want to know this. If we swapped lives for a day, what would shock me the most about your life? It has to be something that I don't know.
This is such a good question. I was just reading this and I was
You
hoping you
had
don't
to-
ask me
No,
this.
I want to know.
If we swap lives for a day, what would be the one thing? Okay, if we swap lives for a day, one thing that you'd be super shocked to know about is that I am unorganized as fuck.
I know
I'm
that.
really
Give me
freestyling it. I'm really freestyling it, dude. I am literally going with the flow and how. Oh, you already know this?
Yes, of course I know this.
Very
You can
nice.
tell me how much ever you want in autos, you do this.
No, that I really am trying to put systems into place, but I'm very unorganized.
But you have to give me another answer. This
Answer,
one
you
I know.
want, she wants some spice.
I don't want spicy. I just want another answer that I don't know.
Oh, Fatima, if you swap lives with me
This
for
is
a
just
day,
such an obvious one. I feel like I would have said
What?
the same thing.
The world doesn't
Yeah.
know this. This is new information for you guys that I'm unorganized AF. That I'm in a constant state of anxiety that I'm not doing enough and I'm not good enough.
Bro, that is, I think that is just
Just
this
unanimous.
generation, yes. I think Nike also had a very recent campaign
Yeah.
on where they are challenging the just do it
Yeah.
philosophy in this whole anxiety induced, because we are constantly online. So
Yeah.
I feel like you are not alone in this. And I see that why I would feel shocked about this, because from the outside it does look like you have it all together. You're getting this new nice job, you've asked for 100% hike, you're building your own brand, you have such a good following, you are hot, loving boyfriend. But I think this is such a blanket statement that's true for everyone in this generation, that we are not doing enough, because just for the sheer access that we all have, right?
Constantly comparing ourselves with other people. Yeah.
Constantly comparing ourselves with other people. So I feel like, thanks for sharing that. I think it's not easy to admit that, but I feel like hopefully that can also let a lot of other women who are
Feel
listening to this
that
podcast,
you're not alone.
that you're not alone in feeling
Yeah.
this way. That, you know, even some of the people who the lives look perfect.
Yeah.
Like if I went through your stories,
Yeah.
your life looks perfect.
And organized, which Fatima apparently knew that I was not. I'm just like, wow.
I never said organized, but okay, yeah.
No, but thank you
Yeah.
for saying that. I feel
Yeah.
better. I think this is a very common
Yes.
feeling that the
Yes.
generation is feeling.
Yes,
in general.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
Nice. Thank you. Okay. Good question. I want to ask you this, but I don't know if you'll answer this.
Oh my God,
Okay.
I'm so
If
scared.
you had to choose love
one?
that's messy or a career that's chaotic, I love this question. Again, I'm repeating it for everyone. If you had to choose a love that's messy or a career that's chaotic. I know, girl. You put me on the spot. I put you on the spot now.
I think I've had too many messy love stories. So I'm done with those.
I think chaotic career we can manage.
Yeah, chaotic career I can totally manage. I feel like I would like to have a more stable. So one second, what again?
A love that's messy or a chaotic career?
I think a chaotic career I can manage.
Yes.
Yes. A love
Yes.
that's safer. is
Yeah.
what I would
Yeah.
prefer.
Calm.
Not messy.
Yeah.
Calm. Yeah.
Calm.
Like just calm. I don't want
Yeah.
messy. I've done enough.
Yes.
I've done 20s up for that.
Yeah, 20s are for that.
20s are
That's
for-
true.
yeah,
That's true.
absolutely.
But somewhere, I'm telling you, babe, you keep telling me that I'm confident, but somewhere it genuinely, what your mom also said about really sitting and feeling it.
My mom literally like, she's like,
Fatima's mom has recently gone into manifestation, and I love that.
Yeah, she's asking me, so have you heard about manifestation? I was like, yes, mom, I belong to this generation. She's like, no, you have to sit and really believe that it's happened to you. That you have to believe that it has happened to you and you're living in that. And I feel like I am so grateful to my mom for like, telling me and giving me these days, because Nikita, that's so true.
It is true. That's what I was coming to. I was coming to the fact that you think that I feel confident, I feel this way, but it genuinely, when you have that shift, and it's easier said than done, but when you genuinely have that internal shift of perception for yourself that I fucking deserve the best when it comes to work, love, everything, fitness, my people around me, my company, it will happen. And I'm telling you with so much confidence, because I this year decided for myself, for everything in my life, that I'm gonna get the fucking best. And I told you that in the first episode also.
That's right.
And I see that manifesting, because it happens when you genuinely internally believe it and not just say it for the sake of it.
So what do you tell yourself?
I genuinely believe that
So you sat on the sofa one day.
No, every day. Every day I put in so much love into myself.
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you do that?
Just being kind to yourself. How you are to yourself, the words you say to yourself, the thoughts you think to yourself. Like we're not perfect. We're not the best at everything. We're not like killing it completely. We're doing a good job. We're getting there. But we're not like multi-millionaire, billionaires or whatever. But you have to be soft to yourself. You can't be harsh like you've not. And the crazy part is that all our childhood, at least in my house or in general Indian household systems, you're just criticized so much that your mindset becomes from a point of view of criticism, self-criticism, that I'm not doing enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not pretty enough,
I can do more.
I'm not fair enough, I can earn enough more, I can get whatever, better job, better house, better car. But when you actually start pouring in the love from yourself, reminding yourself how good you are and how blessed you are, bro, it's a change. Your skin starts glowing, you start attracting good opportunities, and it's an internal dialogue every single day where you tell yourself you're blessed, you have the best people, and you're doing great, and you're good.
I'm doing great.
You are, and you're a good human.
Yeah, I'm a good human. That is so important.
You're a beautiful human, and that's why you are surrounded by the most beautiful people. You know?
I have lucked out.
But that really comes in play when it comes to love also, where you have to be like, I will not settle.
Yes.
And that is where you're like, I don't care what the dude is doing. I don't care what other people in my group. I will not settle for a love that feels right for me. And then it changes. I'm serious.
I agree.
Everything. Even jobs, even work, opportunities. I'm sure there was a point where you were like, I want to build something of my own and fuck everything else. And you started building Ruveda.
Absolutely. I think it's that. I think every day is a struggle with Ruveda as well. It's not the...
Oh, of course. It's a whole...
but yeah, just to sit there and believe and to look at myself like, oh my God, I'm a Sephora founder. Oh my God.
That's what manifested. Why? What do you think Sephora saw in you? They saw you and Nav really creating a brand that meant so much to you. And where did that come from? That came from deep within, where you felt like you could do this.
Absolutely.
So it's all connected to that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that brings us to the end of this segment.
Yes. I think we've done a very cute...
I think we've done a very cute one.
Very cute job.
Yeah,
Cute
guys.
job.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Let's manifest. Okay, we are enough.
What?
I'm saying let's manifest. Okay, we are enough.
We're good. We deserve the best.
I will repeat after you. We're good.
We deserve the best. We are blessed.
We are blessed.
And we attract the best opportunities and
we
the
attract the best
people.
Opportunities and the best
people.
And the best people. That I think we have really lucked out.
We have a very, very
We have a very beautiful community.
But I'm
glad
I got
a little woo-woo, but like guys, just follow this. Just believe this. Repeat this after us at the end of the episode.
The Lulu is the Lulu, babe.
I think so. It's not
woo-woo anymore.
It's not woo-woo. I agree.
There's neuroscience supporting this.
Absolutely.
So you can't just...
I think so. Yeah, absolutely. You're right.
So, I mean, honestly, we are here building a community of women who believe in themselves.
Yeah, I think
and if they don't, we're here to tell you to believe in yourself.
Yeah.
And like,
I think by telling it's woo-woo, it's just like
dismissing it, but it's not.
Which is not true.
So we're doing a good job, and I'm so glad that you guys are here and supporting us. To all our first 200 followers on Instagram,
thank you so much.
You guys are so sweet, and all our friends who actually reached out to us and told us that this is cute,
get better mics,
get better mics. We really appreciate you guys and everything that you've done, and we will make you proud.
Absolutely. And yeah, I think great job with the light, second episode. Nikita and I are getting better, but thank you for being so patient with us, guys. We will have some more fun people and guests in our following episodes also come in. And
Yeah, we will see you soon
we
again.
will see you soon. Hopefully not, yeah, exactly.
More often.
More
We'll be
often
back.
than we've been done doing this. Yeah, absolutely.
We'll be back. But yeah.
My house next time?
Your house next time. Goa.
Absolutely.
Acid
Goa it
Sisters in
is.
Goa.
Absolutely. Okay, alright. It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Good job.
Good job, man.